Hello, guys, and welcome to this episode of the Brawlcasters. I'm James. The man with the finger guns is Alex, and we are here to call some of the internet's craziest fights like we always do. Now, guys, make sure you have subscribed because we don't want you missing a single episode. There's always some gems. Every episode, there's some gems. Recently, we recorded an episode talking about white belt magic. That was a gem.
White belt magic.
And then we talked a few episodes about like whether or not it was a better idea to have my 8-year-old watch Jurassic Park or Face Off. And you tried to convince me that having my 8-year-old watch a movie where a man's face is surgically removed would definitely not cause nightmares.
But there's doves. There's a bunch of white doves in it.
And a man's face is surgically removed. See, these are the things, guys, that if you miss an episode, you don't know what crazy stuff we're going to get into because we don't even know. We record these several episodes in a row. What'd you say?
She should watch Face Off.
Yeah, bro. When she's like 13,
Can she watch Con Air?
No, man. She's not watching Con Air.
Con Air's awesome.
Yes, I agree with you. When she's like 13, 14, then
when are you gonna get a Nicolas Cage mullet?
Bro, how do you know I never had a Nicolas Cage mullet before we met?
Did you?
I never said that, but how do you know?
But did you?
No, of course not.
How much if I get you a good wig, how much to wear it at a flex show? Next flex show in Halloween, you should have a mullet.
I mean, I'm willing to do some ridiculous looking things at a flex show. I dressed up as Ben the Bane Davis when doing commentary with Ben the Bane Davis. That was hilarious, by the way. Me and Charlie Quinn both showed up dressed as Ben the Bane Davis, and Ben had no idea, and it was hysterical. My blood spatter suit, though, pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome, and it has real blood on it now. Yeah. But mullet, bro, you should do like white trash commentary guy that night.
See, no, like what we should do is we should do like a theme costume where like I'll be the Nicolas Cage character from Con Air. Which character would you be?
I could be Nicolas Cage from Face Off, I guess, because he's wearing like a gaudy suit in that at one scene.
How come you get to wear a suit and I gotta wear freaking like a...
You can still wear a suit. I just want you in a mullet, bro.
We gotta have it make sense though.
He's in he's in jail, so he wears like a denim button up. So you could wear a denim suit. You could wear denim on denim on denim,
bro.
Triple denim.
Jay Leno, go straight Jay Leno on him.
Oh my god, dude! You can have a mullet with a denim button up, a denim blazer, and some jeans, bro. I got you.
Bro, how about like we do what's the guy from Eastbound and Down? Danny McBride.
Yeah.
He has definitely been in some... Have you seen The Foot Fist Way?
No.
That's it was like one of Danny McBride's like early movies. It's totally like it's not a B movie. Calling it a B movie is like giving it way too much credit. It's like a D- movie. But he's a Taekwondo instructor in it, and it is hilarious.
Is that the one where like I think I've seen a clip of it where he has like he's like, she's gonna mess you up now, and then the girl just gets like...
he has like an old woman fight like a grown man.
Yeah,
yes, that's the clip from there.
I've seen that clip.
It's a hysterical movie, but like Danny McBride has the mullet in there. We could find a reason, like if we can get a good theme costume, we could find a reason to get me in a mullet wig.
Guys, comment down below. Let us know how we get James in a mullet.
Yeah, if you got it, but the thing is, it has to be something either in a suit or like close enough to like a nice dressy outfit.
Yeah, but it has to involve a mullet for James.
Yeah, I mean, we could go Dirty Dancing, and I'll be Patrick Swayze, you be Jennifer Grey.
I don't think if I show up in a dress, the amount of fighters and Flex fans and staff that'll lose their mind is going to be insane. You understand that, right?
See, but then we'd have to do the lift in the middle of the cage.
No, I'm not doing that shit. You think I'm never going to get sent that every day of my life?
I'd say it'd be worth it, Alex. I say it would be worth it.
You're the one doing the lifting.
Exactly. Well,
I was just thinking about the dress. You know what? Whatever, man. I was gonna say the dress part is too much, and you just went straight up lifting. All right, you know what, guys? We're gonna cut to the fight on this one because James is making no sense out here. First, you can't let his 8-year-old daughter watch Face Off. What are you talking about? Then it's Alex in a dress getting lifted like Dirty Dancing. What are we talking about right now?
I mean, we got there by like theme costume, and I thought of Patrick Swayze's '80s mullet because who was more '80s and manly than Patrick Swayze?
True.
Wait, do we do a Roadhouse theme costume?
Yeah, I mean, you could be an old guy that dies.
That's
Sorry for the spoiler, guys. Sorry for the spoiler in that movie.
No, like what? So like we could both do the mullet. One of us is Patrick Swayze, and the other guy, Jimmy Diamond, I think was his name, or Jimmy. So I looked it up just recently because we talked about it in a recent episode. The bad guy who he has the fight scene in the water with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
rips
guy's
out
name.
His throat.
Yeah, rips out his throat. That guy's name is also Jimmy, and they both had mullets.
Who the guy that dies? That's like his master. What's his name?
Wesley. You don't remember at the end of that scene, Patrick Swayze knee deep in water, screaming Wesley at his house across the lake. Yeah.
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 You could be that guy.
But Wesley doesn't die. He's arrested.
He just gets his ass kicked, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh no, he gets arrested, something like that.
No,
the henchmen get killed. The henchmen get killed. The henchmen they all get killed.
Yeah, he gets his ass kicked, the bad guy. I mean his sensei. I don't remember if he dies, but I know he gets his ass kicked.
Yeah, well, I mean he's gotta get kicked by Patrick Swayze. He has to.
All right. Well, let's see somebody else get their ass kicked now.
Exactly. Here we go. In 3, and 2, and 1.
All right, so this is Texas Street Fight Shadow, which I hate the light of Texas Street Fight. I'm always going to say. Shadow versus El Segador. Well, you made MMA. Good.
Now, there is a possibility this Texas Street Fight is during the day.
Yeah, but even then, guys, like, why put ourselves in a situation where the light doesn't do it? Oh, okay, you know what? Shut me up, because this is the most well-lit you guys have ever been.
Okay, so El Segador is in the black trunks, and that means Shadow is in the cream-colored, we'll call them?
Yeah, champagne. Let's give him some class. You know what? You guys shut me up, because this is a nice thing. This is a big upgrade for you guys.
Yeah, this is a beautiful venue. Now, Shadow taking a shot there, but not really committing to it. El Segador with a beautiful teep kick there. You can tell El Segador definitely has some training, whereas Shadow does not.
Yeah, Shadow's picked up some fight skills. Oh, okay.
I mean,
his fight skills, he's picked them up from like his uncles.
No, he picked them up at the buffet line when somebody else was trying to get the last crab leg. He had to show him who was built to brawl.
Jesus, man, making him wear all his weight here and just shoving him off. Great job.
Yeah, Shadow just no real base to speak of here. Nice inside leg kick. And then great hands from El Segador. I mean, Shadow's like, hey, hit me in the back of the head. But when you put your head down like that as he's swinging, that's kind of on you.
So I was talking to my buddy about that. He's like, oh, he punched him in the back of the head. I forgot what fight we were watching. And I was like, when you do that and you dip so low that you do it to yourself. You can't complain.
Yeah. Now, El Segador has the mouthpiece hanging out, which I hate. Always speaks to me as someone who does not train with a mouthpiece in. Now, Shadow in a front headlock here, and El Segador is not really defending it well. I mean, ropes and everything are working against Shadow, but you can see Segador is drooling and everything. That is indicative of that choke being a lot closer than it has rights to be.
But it's also, I think that the not wearing the mouth guard, is messing it up worse for him. But he just shook him off there.
Yeah, and now picking the ugliest single leg I've ever seen in my life. And Shadow just horribly cheating, holding the ropes right there.
I know the ref just said, hey, stop that. Hey, stop
chilling.
that.
He's just chilling, just holding those ropes. He's like, nah, bro, it's fine. It's totally okay that I'm cheating. Hanging out like Ric Flair in a hot tub.
Ring failure.
He's in the same position. That's not the same position.
It's not the same position at all.
Well,
That's an entirely different position.
Diving on an arm here.
And just giving up free points on the sweep there.
And come back to a triangle. That is more technique than I thought either of these guys had. Now he's got the triangle. He looks like he's locking it backwards, and he's going back after the arm. This is, again, a case where he doesn't really know what he's doing, but he just really believes that it'll work.
Yeah, and it's also so much so that his opponent doesn't know what's happening, so he's freaking out thinking he's in a bad spot, where all he had to do was just posture a little bit and he would have been fine.
Exactly. And instead, we get a TKO finish for El Segador.
The funny thing is he didn't even get swept. He just fell back.
Yeah, he was like, hey, this feels tight. Doesn't even feel bad. It just feels like this guy's cranking on something. Here are our highlights here. Beautiful teep there from El Segador. Now, the hands of El Segador, very, very quick. Very quick.
Yeah,
a little
quick,
bit more
nice,
training.
and
Yeah, a little bit more training, and I think we'd be really happy with what we would see out of him.
I will say, man, honest to God, both fighters, they showed up, built to brawl, they did their thing in that regard, but I call me crazy, but if either fighter had a nickname, they would have lost it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you that. Because, like, El Segador, though he looked better, like, getting stuck in that guillotine that he had no business really being stuck in, and, like, for how long he was stuck in it, too.
And even then, like, I don't know, like, were you that much better than him, or was he that much worse than you? You know what I mean?
You know, that is the question for the ages, Alex. That is the question.
That's like the best way I could describe that fight. Were you like that much better, or were you just that much worse? Because like
You're
that
making,
choke,
you're
that
making
choke at the end, like you threw up a bad armbar, then a half-ass triangle, and then he fell. The literal worst way to defend that is where he fell, because the legs were. He was just. It was everything was just like. Why did you do that?
Yeah, see, now here's the thing. It wasn't just a bad armbar. He was bending the arm the direction it bends. So it was completely backwards. Then
He did this. He was like, yeah, I'm going to sub him by bending his elbow in. Like,
yeah.
what are we talking about
Then
right
he
now?
threw on the sort of triangle, which he never really triangle. And he sort of TP'd his legs where he crossed the ankles and extended, but like not in a direction where he was actually creating any pressure on the neck. But of course there was a squeeze there. So Shadow was like, oh, I don't like this. Let me just fall down. And then El Segador got on top, and of course, there he's just going to punch him in the face until
Yeah, he landed in a mounted triangle, so he was just kind of here, win. That was it. Like here, take the W. That was it.
Yeah, what you're describing is a fight that you and I called at Flex, where it was two gentlemen who were both O and somebody's O had to go, and like the one guy just was like, "Yay, I won!" And it was like, but are you good or are you just better than him? And that is not that much.
That fight, I still believe, and I know you do too. He should have rode off to the sunset on that one.
Yeah, should have never fought again. Now he subsequently fought a bunch more times, and they have all gone the way of all the previous fights.
What I don't like about that one is that reset his counter, and you know about the like
The athletic
suspension.
commission, yeah, and that's a
So
problem.
that's one that I don't like it for. I'm glad he finally got a win because God, he deserved that. But
Yeah, should have just mic dropped and walked off into the sunset.
that's what he needed to do.
Yeah, and I mean we have a fight coming up at Flex on the 31st that you and I are pretty sure we talk about it almost every day, honestly. And there's one fighter who we know how this fight is going to go, and we just hope that at the end of it he's like okay, and just hangs it up. But we have a feeling he won't.
I can't wait, man.
There's some people that fighting just isn't for. They think it is. They want it to be, but it's just it's either in you or it's not. And like you have to be willing to like take criticism and like have a real coach and like a coach who actually knows what he's talking about a little bit, has an area of expertise perhaps.
You know,
And
yeah.
and listen to those around you. Like someone who's a fighter, they're very not satisfied with mediocrity or things not going their way. And then they'll surround themselves with people who will actually tell them the truth. And then when those people tell them the truth, they don't say, nah, you're wrong. You don't know me. Instead, they're like, okay. They listen, they take it in, they make it better. You know, like well, I have a bunch of coaches. Like I have my main coach who does the vast majority of my training, has been teaching me since I'm a child. But then I have other guys who like I train with here and there. But even them, like, even though I might have been teaching longer than they've been training, I don't care. I'm there to be their student that day. And, like, I remember one of them who was showing me this judo throw. And it's one I had done before. And he just walks by as I did it. He goes, it's not the best you've done it. And I was like, oh, oh, ah. Like, I've been teaching longer than you've been training, but still that hurt right in the soul. But then, you know what I did? I made the throw better. I made it better, so that way he couldn't say that anymore. Like,
You know, that makes me think of a fighter. So, Mario De Los Santos, we've called a bunch of his fights. He executed, I believe it was either a Darce or Anaconda at his last fight.
Darce.
Darce, and he put that guy out. I talked to him in between when we had one of our breaks. I gave him a hug. I was talking to him about it. It was at Selden. You weren't there at that card.
Mm.
But he was like, "Yo, bro, thank you again, bro." Like he showed us a lot of love. And the reason he is because we were honest, right? We said the biggest flaw in his fight, in his game, in his repertoire was they knew he was a great kickboxer. They knew he was a good boxer. So all you had to do was take him down. And I said it. We kept saying if he gets a great ground game, you guys got to be. It's gonna be very hard to beat this kid. And what did he do? He told me he kept working on it. He worked on it. He had a good ground game, decent ground game. And then what did he do? He worked on it so much, and he put out his opponent with a beautiful choke. And afterwards, when we were chatting about it, he was like, "Yup, I told you, bro. I'm not just a kickboxer." He was yelling at me in the cage. I tell him I'm not just a kickboxer. And I was like, "Bro, I already said it 8 times. I got you," because like he understood where we were coming from. Is it the easiest thing to hear? No. And again, another thing I was taught early on is you don't play boxing, right? Like me and you always we joke about my nose, right? That's not like you don't get this from fun.
Yeah.
Like that's you know what I mean? You don't play boxing. You don't play and I know it's crazy to use as a reference, but the Jake Paul Anthony Joshua fight, right? Broke his jaw in 2 places. You don't play. It's not a game. Boxing,
Yeah.
MMA, combat sports, they're not a game. That's not okay. I lace up the shoes, I go shoot around for a little bit. I love basketball, but there's a different essence in combat sports.
Exactly.
And it requires the training, it requires the effort, it requires the heart, it requires all of that. And frankly, I know some people hate when I say this. Some people just don't got it.
Yeah. And listen, martial arts is for everybody. Getting in the training room and training, that part's for everybody. I've trained people in wheelchairs. I've trained people with cerebral palsy. I have a number of special needs students in my school. So I've had people, I literally had this guy for years. I love this dude. Retired down in Florida now, but we call him Big Jim. Big Jim was 6'4". He was a literal grandfather. He had a double knee replacement a year and a half, 2 years before coming to me. He had already lost like 60 pounds before the double knee replacement. He lost another 70 pounds with me. 64 years old, I think Big Jim was. Like, martial arts was for him too.
Yeah.
It's for him too.
It's for everyone, like you said.
But getting in the cage and competing against another person who's a trained martial artist, that part isn't for everybody.
The thing is, I'll even encourage people, do a jiu-jitsu competition, do a grappling competition, do that. Getting in the cage in the ring, that's not for everyone, guys. And I know you're like, who are you to tell me that? I'm just trying to give you some advice. If you want to step in, do it. Try it. If you really want to. But if it does not go well at all, face those hard moments and be like, maybe that's not for me.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
The only way I'm going to modify what you just said is this. Get a coach, a real coach, someone who is an actual, literal, legitimate professional coach, not someone who knows some stuff, not some guy who like, okay, he's fought a couple times, so he knows some stuff. I'm talking about a leader of men and women, but like someone who is a true leader, who tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Find that person first. And when that person says, yeah, you can try a fight, then try the fight. And then if they tell you, well, we're not fighting again, not until there was a lot to fix, and we're not fighting again until we fix these things. Listen to that person and fix those things before you fight again. Because what we see at Flex is the people who don't listen to that. And it's a sad thing to see because like they want it so bad, except for the part that's actually hard. Like showing up and fighting the grown man in your underpants in a cage, like, okay, that sounds like that's the hard part. No, that's the reward. You get to walk out there in front of the crowd and people are cheering for you and it's amazing. And you get to be the star on the camera. That's the easy part. Like you and I have talked about people in the past like, well, he keeps getting in there. Like, good for him. No, not good for him. Not good for him.
No.
No, like you got to give it to him for that. No, you don't have to give it for. That's the easy
No.
part. You have to give it to the person who shows up to practice day after day after day after day after day after day, who makes every single practice. Who, when their coach talks about like, oh, listen, if that's your sword, this is your shield, and they'll stand there on the bag after class and they'll throw 50 hooks, making sure that that backhand is where it's supposed to be.
Yep.
That person, good for that person.
Good for that person.
Because that person's going to actually get good. Now, here's the thing. That person who's doing what I described, they may never get in the cage. They don't have to get in the cage. But that person will be damn good. I've had plenty of people in my tenure who are damn good. Damn good. But not, they didn't have that want to like get in there and get in the cage. And you know what?
Okay.
Those are the people who, if they have the person who wants to get in the cage of the ring, they can do some rounds with them. But they could also go with the mother of three who just kind of got into martial arts because their kids were into it. And now they're training. And now, like, I talked them into taking a jiu-jitsu class. And I can trust that awesome person who was like I described. That person also going to be welcoming to that mother of three. Exactly. And that mother of three is going to have a great classroom and be like, wow, that was so much fun. Like, that's... Martial arts is for everybody.
That's martial arts.
That martial arts is for everybody. And like you said, even things like jiu-jitsu tournaments, those are for everybody because especially in a jiu-jitsu tournament, you can typically get like a really, really fair matchup. What I mean by that is like one big thing here on Long Island is the Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network. And I happened to see that guy training. The other guy runs that. He goes, listen, we can match you up so specifically in something like that. He goes, I don't just have like 47-year-old blue belts. I have it filed down where it's like 47-year-old blue belt trains 3 times a week. So if you are also a 47-year-old blue belt who trains 3 times a week, that will be your matchup.
Yeah.
If you train 4 times a week, no, they have guys for you who train 4 times a week. If you're a 46-year-old blue belt, they have that too.
That's what I try to tell people. And even then, like jiu-jitsu, let's say you get into it late, you're a Masters 3 white belt, there's probably a guy for you. And guess what? Now you can have that match against him in a way where you can build experience. You can determine like, wow, cool, I like being on a mat. I like competing against another human being who's going all out. Or you could be like, maybe this isn't for me. But the thing is, when you do that in a cage, an MMA event, or in a ring, in boxing, kickboxing, anything like that, you can take some real damage, dog.
Yeah.
And it is hard to see when you're on the other side of it, when you're on the other side of the cage, the commentator, and we see that damage and we're like, like, that was a rough one.
Yeah. Like, we've seen some knockouts where we're like, that guy doesn't know it yet, but his grandkids are going to have an impacted experience with him because of that moment right there.
Yeah.
And that happens, that same moment, don't get me wrong, that happens to the guy who does everything right. That happens to the guy who's training 3 sessions a day, all fight camp long with a coach, and he's listening. And he still gets highlight reeled. But the thing is, he's invested, he's put in the work, and he's lessened his chance it's going to happen.
Yeah.
There are guys who we've seen where they're the highlight reel over and over and over again, and they're not doing any of the stuff that we talk about. And that's nothing to be proud of. That's actually sad. That's actually
pretty sad. Yeah, man. I think it's the best way to say it. And guys, again, we said it 1,000 times. We're going to keep saying it 1,000 times. We'll go on these tangents all we can. Get in the gym, get some training in, get some Brawlcasters merch. That's your top 3 right now, okay, guys?
Exactly. But the biggest one is the Brawlcasters merch. Don't front on any of it. So, guys, of course, we already told you. Like I said, we don't ask anymore. We're telling you. Hit the like button. Hit it. It's right there. It's right. Just hit the like button.
Like, subscribe.
Hit the like button.
Write a comment.
Yeah, subscribe. Write a comment. Get your Brawlcasters merch. And, of course, guys, until next time, brawl on.